Hey everybody, happy February 22nd. It's very sunny right now. I'm just loving it. My shadow walks behind me. As you can tell, I have no professional photographer. It's really just me holding my phone up. I've been thinking a lot about, I'm listening to a podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson and hearing all of these kind of dogmatic and very I know exactly what's going on in the world because I'm a scientist coming out of him, and he's very respected and I love his work. And I just love to hear people talk about weird things that are happening and new findings. But it's so clear to me that there is no difference between, well, there's a difference, but religious kind of dogma and scientific dogma, it's all the same. You know, one sports fan will pit him or herself against another sports fan saying that their team is like the best and have their reasons. And there's nothing to be gained from that. Besides for the individual get some sort of ego gratification. And as you do the work of owning responsibility for how you live and what you share with other people, you become more powerful. You're basically bringing in more of what is your birthright, which is the ability to create and to manifest in the world. And the term manifest can seem really out there, but really what I mean is to create something, is to foster a change or a shift, or perhaps it's just keeping the same things going. It's all manifestation. So don't let that term get in your head. But as we do personal work, now I'm in the shade, as we do personal work and we get to know ourselves, and let's say we think about some situations from the past and the way we interpreted them or reacted to them while they were painful or scary, you know, we had our reasons. But we start to learn that, oh, we could have handled that differently. You know, hindsight is 20/20. And that perspective really goes a long way in owning your part, your piece in the puzzle. And from that point forward, you can see the gifts much easier than the difficult parts, because everything is a combination. No blessing is 100% pure, and no death or loss is 100% negative. We're always growing. But as you grow and realize these things about yourself, you're being given back pieces that unconsciously, subconsciously, you've given away due to experiences or due to thoughts or impressions. So many different reasons. But for whatever reason, I say, you know, the world doesn't work for me in that way. Or I was hurt because that person did something wrong. And, you know, it's possible from some subjective viewpoint that, you know, one person is wrong and the other person is right. That's always the case. But in the bigger picture, no one's wrong. No one's actually right. We're all just individuals trying to make peace with our reality, with our sense of reality. And as you regain that power, everything becomes bigger as you begin to reclaim yourself. So you don't just get it's oh, I did the good thing and now everything's better. It's no. Some things are better. Everything becomes stronger when you increase your power. You're increasing your frequency. But the things that are of lower quality that also exist within you also get to expand and become larger. So just because you hit your big break and you feel great doesn't mean that your information isn't garbage. It doesn't mean that others' opinions, viewpoints are wrong because yours is right according to you. And it also doesn't mean that anyone else is wrong if you're right, or vice versa. Basically, we need all perspectives to understand this greater mystery. If we want to understand. Maybe you don't. That's cool too. And I don't mind someone passionately, for instance, astrology. So many people think it's bullshit. It's some hacky thing. Clearly I don't, because I'm interested in it. And I study it personally, first, always. And if it's not working, I'm like, all right, this ain't working. Very much like a scientist, but I don't have instrumentation to study. This shit is generational. It's millennia that go by. And we're just looking into theories and studies that people have sort of done. It's been passed down through oral tradition. It just seems more natural with the history of the Earth to study something like that as opposed to studying like nuclear physics, which is cool. But I don't have any way to study that unless I go and get a very specific degree. I could read some books about it. But as far as astrology goes, you don't have to believe in it. I would never ask anyone to believe and say, you know, on that full moon, everyone needs to like be very careful because there's a chance for lots of danger. Like, no, that's sensationalism. I'm not going to play a role in that. The same way, I'm not going to make people afraid of, you know, a technology because it's hard or because science says we can't do it. Like, things like desalinizing salt water. Like, I know it's probably more complicated than I think, but if we were able to do that and give fresh drinking water to people from the ocean, that'd be pretty amazing, right? Lots of ideas. And people. Always people walking. But as you're living your day these days, just notice how many different perspectives know that they are right. And that's okay for them to know that they are right. You too should know that you're right, or know that you're wrong. Then you can know that you're right about being wrong. It's important for our minds, for our inner child, for all the parts of us that aren't as strong as we pretend to be on the outside. All of those parts, they need a break. They need to know that something is solid in this world. And then if you look, you know, spiritually or at the bigger picture, the only thing that's really solid is the fact that you're going to die. So if you lean into that, it's kind of like, oh, maybe not. So then we look at other things. We look at the sun. We look at the setting sun. We look at animals. We look at each other. We look into relationships. Complete me. I want to be completed. And you'll never be completed through a relationship. But the path of a committed relationship will, in my studies, in my scientific world, which is my body and my soul and my mind, I have definitely learned that by committing yourself to an individual and to authenticity, you are speeding up your personal evolution. And there's no timeline for evolution. I don't know. This could be my last life here on Earth, whatever that means. This could be the millionth time I've lived this life, and I might be doing it 1 million more times. I don't know. And I have no right to tell other people that they don't know. Debates are healthy. I like debating. But when it starts to get personal, when you start talking shit about somebody else's beliefs, you're not doing yourself any good. You're moving backwards, dog. You're moving backwards. Get to know these people. We're in the sign of Pisces. Here I go with my magic forecasting. We're in the sign of Pisces. What does that mean? You're going to notice lots of perspectives. I think that the planet is going to try to show you at this time through social interaction that there are things that are important to people. And the most important part is not what they think, is not what they believe, but it's whether you accept it, respect it, learn from it, or you have it piss you off and make you question who you are. No matter what, you're always in love with yourself, right? Never forget that. I just wanted to share these thoughts, and I hope you're having a magical day, and I'll talk to you soon.